Well, good morning, everybody. So here we are, welcome to my kitchen. And today you can see what's on the counter: more cheese, more vegetables, peppers, spinach, bacon, cream cheese, chopped cheese, all the things. And that can only mean one thing: more dips. So the last two dips that we're going to make today are an artichoke spinach dip and a jalapeno popper dip. So I'm going to need bacon for one of them, and I got, my husband went and got a bunch of bacon ends, and so I've chopped those up and I'm going to get this cooking. It will be for the jalapeno popper dip. So while it's cooking, because I want it cooked down really well, slowly to get the fat out, I'm going to make the artichoke dip. So the artichoke dip takes spinach, and I'm using fresh. You can use frozen, but either way, however you use it, you actually need to, I'm going to fry it a bit in a pan. And I mean, I don't know, it says about a cup. Honestly, it cooks down so much, I'm going to put a lot in. You need to do something, either fry it or thaw it and drain it and squeeze it, all the moisture out. You don't want extra moisture in your dip. So I'm going to put this on the stove, let it start to reduce and to wilt, and I'll be back. So this recipe uses 8 ounces of cream cheese. And full disclosure, I have already made this and put it in the freezer for New Year's, but our Christmas Eve with the kids that are local, we want to do some dips and stuff. So these are 2 of our favorites. So I'm making another batch, but I'm just doing a single batch because I don't want a ton of leftovers. Although really, this was not going to get left over. Actually, I think I'm going to do, actually, I'm just going to double them both. It's not going to go to waste. Yeah, I'm going to double them both. You know me, rather have too much than not enough. Glenn hates it. So I'm going to use 2 packages of cream cheese. So I only have 2 cans of artichoke. So it's going to have less artichoke because I would need 4 doubling this, but I don't mind just having the 2 cans. So my bacon over here starting. You have to keep an eye on this spinach because this is not going to take long. And I want it to cool before I put it into the dip because I don't want it to melt all the cheese and stuff. I probably won't freeze this one, although I'm tempted to, just to see how it turns out when you do it from frozen. But we're only a couple nights away. Well, they might eat it before I get it. Yeah, they might eat it before Christmas Eve if I leave it. I might freeze it. We'll see how much room I have in the freezer. Because if I freeze it, I will take it out the night before, which would be tomorrow night. Like, that doesn't seem to make any sense, to freeze it and thaw it out the next day. I'll hide it somewhere. Tell you, these kids love food. I mean, most of them are adults now. They still love food, just like when they were little kids and you cooked something special. And they seem to nose things out that I should probably chop them. I should have chopped it first. Okay, look how much that cooked down. So if it was 1 cup of this much, like I've done like this, then we're short. But I'm turning this off. I'm going to put it on a plate so it can cool, and I will chop it up a bit once it's cool. I don't really want strings. So spread it out, let it cool. Turn this down, so I don't need it right away, and I want it to really break down that fat. So I am going to use my stand mixer again with the flat paddle, especially because I have two to do. It's really worth getting it dirty. So these do open easily if you do it the right way. These are a little cool compared to the other day, so I'm going to break them up for sure. It just helps them quickly become creamy. You know, you don't realize how much cheese is in most appetizers, actually. It's hard to find dips, especially, that don't have cream cheese and stuff. I still have more to make closer to New Year's. They're the ones that won't get frozen but get put in the fridge to probably the day or so before. So we do a typical taco dip, you know, with the cream cheese, sour cream on the bottom, salsa, vegetables, and cheese on the top. There's also a cranberry salsa one I want to do. That's a new one. Okay, so I'm just going to bring this over here. Okay, so I'm going to use my flat beater. So now I've got my cream cheese smoothed out. My next addition is going to be about half a cup of sour cream because I'm doubling the recipe. And I don't really measure most things because most of these ingredients really, it's not important that they're exact. Some recipes, you know, you need to be exact. So I'm going to say that's 1/4 cup and that's half. And just a little bit off the edge. My hands are clean because now I need the same amount of mayonnaise. Actually, the mayo gives it a lot of flavor. Okay, so I'm going to blend that. Sorry for the noise. Just doing it on low. I'm going to chop up my spinach a little bit so it's not going to wind all around my beater thing. And I need 2 cans of artichoke hearts, well drained. These are artichoke hearts in water, not oil. So 2 cans of those. I need garlic powder and cheese. So this dip, I like a lot of garlic flavor. I'm going to put the spinach in. Some recipes call for garlic salt. I never use that because to me there's way more salt than garlic. And to get it as garlicky as I want it, I wouldn't like it. I'm putting in 1 cup of cheese. This is going to be probably more than a cup. One of these days I'll learn not to put my fingers near there when it's running. I don't know. Put most of it in. I don't think I want all of it in there. And I'm adding some Parmesan as well. Not a lot, but it really picks up the flavor. So I'd say there's about half a cup. And it's all mixed in. Okay, so ready to put it in the pan. It really doesn't take that long, guys. Like, it's simple, it's flavorful, and it's one of our oldest favorites. If I didn't make this for our holiday, people might not come. You can also make the same dip and put it on top of chicken breast and bake them. And my goodness, does that ever taste good. Okay, I have to use my fingers. They are clean, but this spinach is tangled. So there we go. So I'm just going to spread it out. So there is the spinach artichoke. So here we go. I didn't even wash this bowl. I'm not even ashamed to admit it. I'm doing one dip right after another. They both take cream cheese and all this stuff. Practically the same things. And I don't believe in working any harder than I have to. So I'm going in with 2 blocks of cream cheese for this one. This is one of our favorite dips, this jalapeno popper. And with leftovers, they often put it on sandwiches, like even put it on grilled cheese, put it on pasta. I actually will link it above. I also did a jalapeno popper chicken casserole recipe, and that's another favorite. And it's a great way to stretch your chicken. Get cream cheese on sale, throw it in the freezer. Sometimes you can get it for ridiculously cheap prices, and that's when you want to buy it. Put it in the freezer. It's not great for eating like on bagels or whatever. I mean, it's not terrible, but it does change the texture. But for cooking with and something it's going to be melted, it's fine. So when you can get it on sale, that's another thing that often is a good price at Costco. So now I'm just going to scrape down the sides because it's thick and it stays on the edges, and I want it down in the bowl because it's softened, but it's by no means melted. This makes me want cheesecake. Okay, I'm not adding to my list. This is what happens every year. Like, I'm gonna go easy, I'm gonna cut back. And every year I do more. To this, I'm adding half a cup of sour cream, half a cup of mayo. See, these recipes are so similar. So I also need garlic powder. The recipe I saw originally called for 7 jalapenos seeded. For one, even that would be too much for me. I would say this is maybe 2, and I leave the seeds in. Why waste those seeds? So if it adds heat, put fewer jalapenos in, but don't throw the seeds out. And then it calls for shredded cheddar, shredded mozzarella, and I just use marble because it pretty much has both. So it would be 3 cups, but I honestly, it's not just because I'm cheap. I do not like a lot of dairy and a lot of cheese, because when it melts it gets greasy. That's 3/4 of a cup because I'm doubling this recipe. So that's 1.5 cups. And that would be for 1 recipe, and I'm doubling. And I'm gonna put maybe 2 cups. Because I don't like a lot of that cheese. And then it wants 1 cup of Parmesan, and I'm not putting 1 cup of Parmesan. I will do 3/4 a scant. That's too much. I don't want to just, and what else? Bacon. Because you know, poppers typically have bacon. And I don't put in as much as they call for either. And I don't always put everything they call for, because for 1, it makes it expensive. For 2, it just isn't necessary to get the right amount of flavor. So that's done. For the most part with this flat beater, you just go straight down the sides, and then you can get most of the stuff out, because they've really designed it quite well, and it washes easily. So, but before I take it out, I try to get the majority off, and then just a little bit on the inside. And you can leave a bit on so that you can lick the beater later. All right, my pan is sprayed, and this is going in, and then we are done for today, guys. So I do still have, again, because we're not having our meal till New Year's, I do still have more recipes that I'm making for our celebration, but I won't get them on here in time for you to have them for Christmas. I barely made it with these ones. You will see a cinnamon raisin bread that I made. That's scheduled to come on Saturday morning. And I'm going to do a cranberry walnut bread, again for New Year's morning. I'm going to make dinner rolls and freeze them in dough form, like separated, shaped, and freeze them, and then bring them out and bake them the day of our meal. So I will be posting that, and you can use it for New Year's, but it's not going to come for Christmas. And there we go. I mean, it could be a little spicier for me, and probably when I bake it, I might put, it's a spice that comes a little bit after the fact. I just can't make it too spicy because there's so many in my family that don't like spice. So there we go. That's the jalapeno popper dip, and we are done for today. So I just want to take this opportunity to wish you and your whole family a Merry Christmas and all the best. Enjoy the time you spent together. Enjoy the old traditions, create new traditions, but Merry Christmas to you, and God bless.